Welcome back to Euro Football Daily, the show where we round up the biggest talking points and results from the weekend just past. Joining me today is Henry Hill. How are we doing, Henry?
Yeah, very good. Thank you. Very well. I've just been catching up on the Serie A highlights, and to follow on from our Continental Club chat, which you haven't watched already, I do think it's the most exciting league right now. 5 of the 9 games getting something like 4 goals or more. 2 or 3 of them featuring 3 goals. Victor Osimhen, 6 in 4 games or something like that right now. He's running hot, isn't he? It is so good, Serie A right now, and I'm glad that our... Well, you put them as 4th, didn't you, the Cubs?
I did put them as 4th. I did put them as 4th. I still stick by that for overall quality compared to La Liga. But I don't know. If you haven't watched Continental Club, go and check that out, because there was some pretty good debate about where the top 5 leagues rank right now. I think it's been the biggest kind of shake-up, hasn't it been, in the last year in terms of kind of drop-off in quality in some, kind of the quality getting better in others. Go and check out Continental Club after this if you haven't done so already. But let's kick off with our story of the week. It comes from @AhadOmar8. Henry, he's talking about Ansu Fati and Ronald Koeman.
Yes, well, there's been a lot of talk about La Masia, how that's going to have to come back and save Barcelona in these difficult times. And so the spearhead of this new wave coming out of their fabled academy is Ansu Fati. Could he save Koeman's career? Well, Ronald will be certainly happy to see Ansu Fati back in the team and scoring goals again this weekend. He came on in the 81st minute of their game against Levante, his first appearance for the club since November 2020. That's 51 games ago. A real horrid injury for someone still in his teens, isn't it? And 10 minutes later, he scored a brilliant goal, firing in from the edge of the box. Rode a few challenges. I heard you describe it as Messi-esque in our pre-chat before this.
Stick my neck out there.
Handed the number 10 shirt. I mean, he really is the future of that side. It looks like it. Maybe the keeper could have done a bit better. Doesn't matter. He sealed a comfortable 3-0 victory, which will ease pressure on Ronald Koeman. And you know what? They did play 5 La Masia graduates in that game. That's excluding Piqué, Eric Garcia and Busquets as well. We saw Gavi, Nico Gonzalez. He had a pretty solid game too. So there's a lot. He is doing the right thing, trying to get some of the younger players in, which is what Joan Laporta wants. So he'll be happy to see that, although I think it's pretty difficult elsewhere between those two. But anyway, the Blaugrana had failed to win their previous 2 La Liga games, drawing 1-1 against Granada and 0-0 against Cadiz. But this was very straightforward. Depay got his 6th goal. He looks like he's going to be huge for the season, doesn't he? That was from the penalty spot. Luke de Jong, then slotted in to score his first goal for the club. I'm pleased for him. Obviously, derided the transfer, whatever, but it's good for him to get up and running there and show what he can do. And he got the assist from Serginho Dest, who had a very good performance in this game as well. They're now 5 points off Real with a game in hand. But yeah, I mean, what do you reckon this means for Koeman recovering? Because it's obviously a good victory, lots of positives, but it doesn't ease anything really, does it?
No, I don't necessarily think so. I think in the long run, Koeman is always going to face a big challenge, and it just feels like right now he's probably not going to last beyond the end of the season, unless there's a huge uptick in form and Barca can really, really challenge for the title and win La Liga. Even then, I don't know, I just feel like the long-term plan for Laporta probably doesn't include him. But that's just my feeling. As for this game, he wasn't even on the sidelines. Obviously, he got that red card against Cadiz. So assistant Alfred Schroeder was in the dugout. Barca fans were actually joking on social media that the club should appeal to extend Koeman's suspension. Such is the feeling around him at the moment. But it did feel like Schroeder made the most of his kind of time in the spotlight. He subbed on Ricky Puig in the 58th minute. Obviously, a player who hasn't really had a consistent chance under Koeman. Although he has appeared off the bench a few times this season already, he completed 97% of his passes, he completed a dribble and also fired off 2 shots, so a very active cameo appearance from him. The aforementioned Gavi, 17 years old, also impressed on his second start, out there on the right of the attack. He completed 5 dribbles with 100% success, also took 2 shots as well. Probably should have squared it to Luke de Jong when he had a chance in the first half, but nevertheless, a bright performance from such a young player. The next month is going to be really crucial for Ronald Koeman. They've got Atletico Madrid away, Valencia at home, and Real Madrid at home in El Clasico, all in the space of the next month. And then they've got Benfica and Dynamo Kiev in the in the Champions League. So yeah, a really, really big 5 weeks, which could really be make or break for Barcelona's season, I think. And obviously they'll need Ansu Fati to come into the team on a more consistent basis and keep up the form that he showed in that very short space of time. In that 10 minutes that he had, he completed a dribble, he created a chance, obviously scored the goal from 2 shots as well.
Wow.
And yeah, you could really feel there was, everyone kind of lifted him up when he scored. It was a real kind of iconic celebration.
With his doctor, with his doctor, wasn't it?
Was it actually? I didn't spot that, but yeah. He was very complimentary of his doctors after the game as well. Obviously, coming through, such a horrid period on the sidelines. But yeah, he definitely gave the Camp Nou a lift, and hopefully they can take it into the following weeks. But what do you guys reckon at home? Do you think Ronald Koeman has a chance of keeping his job this season? What do you think about Ansu Fati? And also go and check out our community post from a few days ago where we discussed Ronald Koeman's future as well. Lots of you commented on that, so go and get involved. And let's move on to our result of the week.
All right, for our result of the week, we're in Italy, as I predicted we might be at the start of the show, where at Leo Kovac Karacic has recommended Lazio 3, Roma 2. What a game, McCubbin.
Yeah, an absolute belter, this one. What a derby. Lazio beat Roma 3-2 in a pulsating Derby Della Capitale with goals from Milinkovic-Savic, Pedro, Felipe Anderson, and for the Giallorossi, Ibanez and Veretout. The game looked kind of dead and buried at once Felipe Anderson made it 3-1 in the 63rd minute, but 6 minutes later Roma were very fortunate to be handed a penalty when Zaniolo miskicked in the box and a foul was somehow given against Akpro. Roma fans may feel justified in some way because Zaniolo was taken out in the box earlier in the game, which then led to Pedro's goal that made it 2-0. Mourinho was pretty annoyed about that post-match. So, maybe they feel like justice was served, but nevertheless, don't know how the ref didn't see that or VAR didn't pick up on that afterwards. Yeah. But nevertheless, the Bianco Celesti took advantage of some shambolic Roma defending, especially in the first half. Roma actually had more shots than them. They had 20 shots with 8 on target to Lazio's 10 and 4. But Maurizio Sarri's men were far more effective in the final third. XG had it at 2.5 to 1.5 in their favour, so they really were creating the much better quality chances throughout. Ciro Immobile, I don't think I've ever seen a game in which Ciro Immobile has had so many great chances and not scored, but he was pretty excellent on the day otherwise. And it was a vital win for Sarri. Obviously, they started the season pretty well. They scored 9 goals in their opening 2 games, but then lost to Milan, drew against Cagliari and Torino in their last 3. So yeah, it was a win that they really needed, and in such a big game as well against a Roma side which have impressed at points in the opening weeks too. So only Inter and Napoli have actually scored more than their 15 goals in 6 games, but 8 teams have conceded fewer than their 9, just 1 more than 13th placed Udinese. So defence is definitely where Lazio need to improve. But in this game, I think their defence was far better. But Henry, what did you make of Roma's performance and what do you make of kind of Mourinho so far?
Well, I said the other day, you never quite know what this Roma side seemed to produce under Mourinho. And I think we've sort of seen moments of that again. Although I do think you have to give a lot of credit to the Lazio performance. But anyway, after such a promising start, which saw them win their opening 3 league games, scoring 9 goals, Mourinho's men have now lost 2 of their last 3. Obviously, that defeat coming against Hellas Verona, and now sort of a tougher challenge against Lazio, their biggest rivals, let's face it. And they, like you said, very open on the counter-attack. It was stunning the amount of times that Immobile managed to get in behind them there, laying off the ball for Pedro and for Anderson to score. Sort of pretty similar goals there. But I mean, what a moment for Pedro, though. 34-year-old scored 6 goals in 40 games for Roma last season. I thought he was pretty handy. But Mourinho just completely dropped him from his pre-season squad. He was released from his 2-year contract early and signing for Lazio. Get this, the first time that a player has moved between the 2 rivals in 40 years. I did not know that it was... I knew obviously that emotions run high. I didn't know it sort of ran that deep. 40 years since the last time that happened. Anyway, like you said, Mourinho sort of classically annoyed that Zaniolo wasn't given that penalty. Maybe not. Certainly, I completely agree with you. The fact that he was even awarded a penalty for the second one was a bit of a shambles. But, Pedro was just really like the standout player of the show, I think, in this one. 3 tackles, 1 clearance, 1 dribble, 1 shot and 1 goal. Alongside Immobile as well, who got 94% pass accuracy, 3 dribbles. I didn't even know he had that much for turn of pace. I sort of thought, on the last man, I thought he was very effective. But here he was sort of electric in behind the defence. And on the other side of the coin, Zaniolo, another really solid performance. Great to see him back to fitness. Obviously, talking about Fati earlier, Zaniolo is another player who's been out on the sidelines for a very long time, hasn't he, prior to this season? He got in 3 aerial wins, 7 dribbles. Wow, 3 key passes, 5 shots, and you hit the post and obviously won that penalty. Fantastic result for Lazio. Roma is still in 4th in the table, so it's not all doom and gloom. It's fairly tight at the top. I think there's about 6 points that separate the top 7. So it's all to play for in Serie A. And for these 2 teams now, they're back in action in the Europa League this week. Not Europa League, in fact, Roma play against Zorya Luhansk in the Conference League. Forgive me. And then Lazio play Lokomotiv Moscow on the same day in the next level of competition, Europa. So lots to play for there. Like I said, very exciting times to be a Serie A fan. Next over, we're going to go to Germany for our Star of the Week.
Our Star of the Week comes from @FizzKimby9, and we couldn't really give it to anyone else but Christopher Nkunku, could we, Henry?
He was so good in that Manchester City defeat, wasn't he? That 6-3, got a hat-trick there, and he's turned up again. I'm really pleased for Jesse Marsch, by the way. Tricky start to the season, but Leipzig have turned it on. They've thrashed a woeful Hertha Berlin side, who just seem to be going nowhere at the moment, do they? Where they thrashed them 6-0, and Nkunku played a massive part in that again. 23-year-old forward played on the right of a 3-4-3 formation and was in brilliant form. 1 tackle, 1 dribble, 86% pass accuracy, 3 key passes, 4 shots, 1 assist and 2 goals. One of which was a 25-yard free kick into the top right corner. Go check that out if you haven't seen that already. And he won a penalty. I mean, what a performance. That's as good as it gets, isn't it? I mean, he's covered all the boundaries there. But yeah, that takes him to 5 goals, 1 assist and 7 league and Champions League appearances this season. He's such a quality player out of the PSG academy. But I mean, just to sort of reiterate what I said, McCubb, it's so good to see this Leipzig side back to where we thought they might be under Marsch.
Yeah, for sure. And I think before the season, we were talking a lot about kind of Andre Silva and what a big signing he was for them and the kind of impact he could have on this side. But Christopher Nkunku, I think, has kind of proved in these early weeks that he really is that key man in attack. I was just so impressed by him throughout the game. Just kind of the technical qualities. I feel like physically he's better now as well. Like he's had 2 years of great development at Leipzig, and I think he really is turning into such a great complete forward. But yeah, it's great for Jesse Marsch. Obviously, difficult start to the season, couple of pretty heavy defeats. But they did show on that opening day win. I can't remember who it was, that 4-0 win. The team escapes me now. Stuttgart, yeah. That they are still an incredible attacking force on their day, and they were superb against Hertha. 61% possession. They had 18 shots and 10 on target. Hertha only managed 4 shots on goal throughout the 90 minutes, and XG had it at 4.3 to 0.3. Such a dominant display. And this win lifts them to 10th. Obviously, it's only their second in the league this season. They're 9 points already behind Bayern, 5 behind 4th place Dortmund. So they really do need to have a good autumn to kind of claw back the ground on the Champions League places. I feel like at the moment we can't really talk about them as title challengers, but who knows, maybe by November, December they'll claw back enough ground. But yeah, they need Nkunku to continue this form because he's averaging 2.8 shots per 90 at the moment. That's the best in the squad, and is creating 2.4 chances a game as well, which is the second best. So yeah, what a start to the season for Christopher Nkunku. Let's hope Leipzig can continue this form and make the Bundesliga add to the kind of chasing pack in the Bundesliga. Obviously, Dortmund have had a decent start by Leverkusen. I think have been the best of the chasing pack, haven't they? But yeah, let us know your thoughts on the Bundesliga and Christopher Nkunku in the comments below. That's all we have time for on this week's Euro Roundup. Henry, if they enjoyed this, where should they go next?
We'll keep it on Eurofootball Daily. We've released a look at Bartomeu's time in charge of Barcelona and what that meant for the La Masia Academy. So sort of throwback to what we were talking about at the start of the show. And I think Chris's one-on-one this week was looking at sort of the FIFA's new Wonder Kid list, sort of ranking
Golden
them.
Boys.
So yeah, Golden Boys, that's the one. Yeah, always a good show one-on-one. So go give that some support.
Lovely. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time. Bye.